They told you to hustle harder if you want freedom. But what if the hustle is the trap? We have been taught to worship at the altar of busy. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, a testament to our ambition. We've glorified the grind, haven't we? The early mornings, the late nights, the endless stream of notifications that promise we are wanted, that we are essential. We chase deals, we chase deadlines, we chase likes, a relentless pursuit of more, convinced that this frantic motion is progress. I remember being a champion of this race. My calendar was a battlefield of back-to-back meetings, my inbox a monster that was never slain. I told myself I was building an empire, one sleepless night at a time. I was the strong African woman, carrying the hopes of my family, my community, on my shoulders. And I believed the only way to honor them, the only way to prove my worth in a world that so often demands we prove it, was to work myself to the bone. But the truth is, I wasn't building an empire. I was building a prison. A beautiful high-tech prison with great Wi-Fi, but a prison nonetheless. The constant hum of activity wasn't the sound of creation, it was the static of distraction. It was the noise that drowned out the quiet, essential questions. Am I happy? Am I healthy? Am I truly present for the people and the moments that matter? This illusion of hustle is a thief. It steals our joy, our health, and our connection to ourselves. It convinces us that our value is measured in output, that our worth is determined by our productivity. We run on a hamster wheel, mistaking the speed of our spinning for forward momentum. We are so focused on the next rung of the ladder that we don't realize the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall. Busyness is not a proxy for purpose. It is often a hiding place, a shield we use to avoid the vulnerability of stillness, to avoid the discomfort of asking what we truly want from this one precious life. It's a distraction from the real work, the work of knowing ourselves, of healing, of connecting with our community, of finding a rhythm that is sustainable and soulful, a rhythm that honors the wisdom of our ancestors who understood the seasons of work and rest. So, I began to ask myself a different set of questions. What if progress isn't about doing more, but being more? What if freedom isn't found in a packed schedule, but in the open spaces between the lines? What if our greatest contribution isn't the mountain of tasks we complete, but the quality of our presence, the depth of our joy, and the love we share with our people? The journey from burnout to breakthrough begins with one radical act: daring to stop, daring to question the gospel of the grind, and search for a truer, more liberating definition of a life well lived. The harder you chase, the more trapped you feel. Hustle promises freedom but delivers burnout. Freedom starts when you pause, when you stop chasing everything and start choosing what truly matters. We've been told a story about freedom, haven't we? A story that sounds a lot like a race. A race to do more, to be more, to have more. I ran that race for years, my sister. I collected the accolades, ticked the boxes, and filled my calendar until there was no room left for my own breath. My feet were sore from running towards a finish line that kept moving further away. I was chasing a horizon, believing that on the other side lay satisfaction, peace, and this grand thing called freedom, but all I found was exhaustion, a deep soul-level weariness that no amount of success could soothe. It was in the stillness, in the moment I finally stopped running, that I understood. Freedom isn't about doing more, it's about creating space. This isn't empty space, it's not a void. Think of it as sacred ground. It's the fertile soil where your true self can finally take root and grow. It's the quiet clearing in the forest after a long, difficult hike. For so long, we've been taught to fear this quiet, to fill every second with noise, with productivity, with purpose-seeking. But the truth is, the noise is what keeps us from our purpose. This space is where you reclaim your peace, not the absence of trouble, but the presence of your own centeredness. It's the ability to sit by the window and simply watch the rain fall, without feeling the pull of 1,000 unanswered emails. It's hearing the rhythm of your own heartbeat underneath the frantic pulse of the world. It's a quiet rebellion against the demand to be constantly on. This space is where you nurture your health. Our bodies have been screaming at us, haven't they? Through sleepless nights, persistent anxiety, the tension we carry in our shoulders like a heavy cloak. The hustle has a high price, and our well-being pays the bill. Creating space is an act of profound healing. It's choosing to cook a nourishing meal instead of grabbing something quick. It's taking a walk in nature, feeling the African sun on your skin, and breathing in air that doesn't taste of stress. It's remembering that your body is not a machine for productivity. It is the sacred home of your spirit. And in that quiet, healthy space, your purpose reveals itself. It doesn't shout, it whispers. Purpose isn't a grand title or a 5-year plan you chase. It's the gentle pull towards what makes you feel alive. It's the joy you find in sharing stories with your elders, the passion that ignites when you create with your hands, the deep connection you feel when you support your community. It's the unique light that only you can bring to the world, a light that gets dimmed by the rush. Freedom is the power to say no to the race and yes to your soul's rhythm. That's where your power lives. Not in the hustle, but in the hush. It's in the deliberate, conscious choice to create a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. It is your birthright. It is the journey home to yourself. So, we've journeyed together through the noise, the pressure, the relentless myth that our worth is measured by our exhaustion. We've seen how the hustle culture can steal our joy, disconnect us from our roots, and leave us feeling like we're running a race with no finish line. I know that feeling intimately. I've been there, staring at a ceiling at 3 a.m., my mind racing, my body aching, wondering if this was all there was to my ambition, to my dreams. A constant state of striving, with no room left for living. But deep in my spirit, a whisper persisted, a whisper that spoke of another way. A path rooted not in grinding, but in grace. Not in depletion, but in deep, restorative alignment. This channel is my answer to that whisper. It's an invitation for you, for us, to step off that treadmill and begin a different kind of journey. A journey back to ourselves. If you're ready to grow differently, this is your space. Here, we will explore what it truly means to build a life and a career with peace at its very foundation. We'll learn to listen to our bodies, to honor the natural rhythms of rest and productivity that are so often ignored. We will redefine success on our own terms, creating a vision that is uniquely ours, rich with purpose and meaning that resonates with our soul. Imagine waking up feeling energized, not anxious. Imagine your work being an authentic expression of your gifts, not a source of dread. Imagine having the freedom, financial, creative, and spiritual, to live a life that is spacious, joyful, and deeply fulfilling. This isn't a distant dream. It's a reality we can build, one intentional choice at a time. And you don't have to figure it out alone. By subscribing, you're not just getting videos, you're joining a community, a sisterhood of ambitious, soul-led women who are choosing a new way forward. We are entrepreneurs, creatives, mothers, and leaders from across the continent and the diaspora, all committed to supporting one another. Here, we share our wins, navigate our challenges, and hold space for the messy, beautiful process of transformation. We'll dive into practical strategies for setting powerful boundaries, managing our energy, and cultivating mindfulness in our daily lives. We'll have honest conversations about money, ambition, and spirituality, all through a lens that honors our unique cultural context and wisdom. So if you feel that pull, that quiet recognition in your heart that you are made for more than just burnout, then I invite you to join us. Let this be the moment you commit to yourself. Let this be the start of a new chapter. Subscribe to the channel, and let's embark on this beautiful, life-altering journey together. Let's build lives of profound alignment, not soul-crushing exhaustion.